It's nice and sunny right now. We just have a few passing clouds east of Highway 65 back over from Morgan, Miller, really into Fulton County and north central Arkansas. But everyone looking at mostly sunny skies this afternoon. Our temperatures are about 10 to almost 15 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. Right now already sitting in the 70s here in Springfield, as well as 75 in Harrison, 70 in Lebanon, 64 in Mountain Grove, and 66 in Salem. Throughout the next several hours, your temperatures continuing to climb back into the upper 70s to low 80s today, and evening temperatures, you can take dinner outside on the patio comfortably. By 7 o'clock, we're in the mid 70s and 60s by 9. Highs today around 79 to maybe even 83 degrees in Harrison this afternoon, and record highs could be broken in some spots today, or at least will come close potentially over towards Rolla and West Plains, but more chances on the horizon that I'll talk about coming up. Same story as last night, maybe a few passing clouds, but overall it's on out tomorrow afternoon. Plenty of sunshine. Kids enjoying spring break this week. Forecast looks great over the weekend ahead. Even if you're not on spring break, plenty of time to enjoy temperatures well above average. So today we should be around 79 to about 83 degrees by around 4 o'clock. And then evening temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s at 8 o'clock, which is still above our average high of 60 degrees. And overnight lows tonight sitting back in the low to mid 50s out the door tomorrow morning. Maybe a little cooler in Harrison than what this model here shows in the mid 50s, but regardless, everyone warm waking up, and we have this big heat dome in place back over towards the Four Corners region and over towards the west coast. You can see it really clearly here on water vapor imagery. Big area of high pressure right here. Moisture kind of wrapping around it, but overall really dry air in place here across the central U.S. and the jet stream indicated by these arrows continuing to lift off to the north a bit, and with that big heat dome, hot, really dry weather back over towards the Rockies, expanding here across parts of the Midwest and into the southeast. So hot, dry, and actually feeling very summer-like over the next couple of days. Here's a look at our record highs highlighted here in these red boxes. You see these numbers at the top versus our forecasted highs over the next several days. This is going to be for Springfield, but I'll have some more records for the rest of the area coming up. But today will likely be shy of our record of 86. Friday, I think we'll definitely be shy of our record of 92. Saturday, I think many areas stand a good chance to at least tie or potentially beat your record highs. And Sunday also still looking at really close temperatures to record highs as well. So many days will come close. Some spots may break it here and there. Regardless, well above average. Record highs for Saturday, West Plains and Rolla, your records are 85 degrees. I think you stand a good chance to at least tie that. Harrison, you'll very likely beat your record high of 86 on Saturday, set back in 1997. Joplin's is 91, and I even think that they could give that record a run for its money too. Now, here's a look at just model numbers for Saturday and into Sunday. Some numbers are a bit extreme. I think 94 in Stockton is definitely pushing it. But overall, many will be in the upper 80s, and I think a few areas isolated could hit around 90 degrees for a high Saturday. And then heading into the day on Sunday, same story for areas mostly south of I-44. But a cold front will be moving on in, so temperatures will be a bit variable. The hottest in our southernmost cities, where the cold front arrives a little bit later. By around 3 o'clock, some 70s in our northwestern counties, and then 80s and 90s further off to the south and east. So it's hot. We're dry, east to low 80s, feeling more summer-like, and lows tonight dropping into the low to mid 50s out the door tomorrow morning. Winds stay light tonight, a few passing clouds, and then tomorrow, and it won't feel anything like winter for us. We have a lot of sunshine, some cloud cover still clipping some of our easternmost counties. That will continue to clear on out today, but everyone is looking at temperatures warmer than yesterday, about 5 to almost 15 degrees in some spots. Many sitting in the low to mid 70s right now, 75 here in Springfield, already almost 80 degrees for you in Harrison, 71 in Warsaw, and 72 in Monette right now. Over the next several hours, we warm up into the upper 70s to low 80s for most, some spots a little bit warmer, and then evening dinner time temperatures ranging from the upper 70s and cooling off only into the upper 60s by 8 o'clock. Spend at least a little bit of time today outside, but no worries if you can't, because plenty of warm weather on the way this week. Highs today around 79 to maybe even around 84 degrees in Harrison this afternoon. And you could flirt at least with record highs maybe in Rolla and West Plains. You could warm up a little bit more, especially back over towards West Plains, where I think you'll have a little bit more sunshine than Rolla today. Your record high is 81 degrees. Coming close, but I think the records are looking kind of safe in Harrison and Springfield as well. But record highs could be broken heading into parts of the weekend. We'll talk more about those coming up soon. To be golfing out there, you see a few golfers enjoying the weather. We'll continue to look at a lot of sunshine this afternoon, quiet conditions, and tonight just maybe a few passing clouds, very similar to last night, and then we'll see a lot of sunshine again tomorrow afternoon, with temperatures continuing to heat up over the next few days. So today, most around 79 to maybe even the mid 80s into parts of northern Arkansas this afternoon, flirting with some records potentially over in West Plains and Rolla, where record highs are about 81 degrees. You'll likely be shy. Still though, pretty close this afternoon. 8 o'clock temperatures around 69 to 71 degrees. Still, you could take dinner outside on the patio comfortably. And tomorrow morning, waking up to temperatures in the 50s out the door. Average high is 60 degrees, so we are well above average for this time of year. And here's what's happening. Let's take a look at water vapor imagery, where you see the yellows indicating some really dry, sinking air. And moisture, really a lot of it indicated kind of by these darker colors around the greens. So this big heat dome you can see very clearly from water vapor imagery, as we have very dry sinking air and really dry air here across parts of the Ozarks as well, really all of the Ozarks. And here's kind of what's happening in the mid levels of the atmosphere. We have this upper level trough continuing to work its way off towards the east coast and northeast. The jet stream indicated by these arrows is going to continue to lift north over the next couple of days, and we have this big heat dome towards the west that will give way to very dry and very warm conditions here across a large portion of the country. And we are talking about highs approaching records today all the way through your Sunday. Now here's just a look at Springfield's numbers, but I'll have a closer look at other cities as well coming up. But today's record high is about 86. I think we're shy still though in the low 80s in spots. 92 is Springfield's on Friday. I think that one is safe, but other areas will certainly come close to. Saturday, I think, is going to be the best day this week that several cities have the best chance to tie or beat record highs. By Sunday, still looking close, mid 80s, some spots in the upper 80s. Springfield's record high Sunday is 88 degrees. So since Saturday is the day that I think many areas will come close to beating record highs, let's take a look at several spots. West Plains and Rolla, your record highs 85 degrees. I think those are a really good chance to also tie, to potentially beat. Certainly in Harrison, I think you guys will be flirting with 90 degrees for a high on Saturday. That record set back in 1997, and there's a good chance you beat that. Joplin's is 91, and I think they also stand a good chance to potentially tie, maybe even beat record highs. Here's a look at Saturday afternoon. This model right here shows 92 in Joplin, 85 in West Plains. Once again, that would tie the record, but I really think you could warm up maybe a little bit more. And then heading into the day on Sunday, we are looking at a cold front that will slide on through, and that will cool temperatures off just a bit north of I-44, but still plenty of mid to upper 80s. Portion of the country looking quiet and very dry. We have a little bit of rain back over towards Ohio right now, a little bit of some light snow in the northeast, but many looking at a really quiet weather pattern after what was a really active weather pattern as we started the week off. I want to show you right here, there is kind of a steady stream of moisture coming in from the Pacific, heading up towards the Pacific Northwest, and that is where we have the most rain today, as let's say around Seattle, around Portland, Vancouver into Canada getting in on a decent amount of really just some rain right here, and of course a little bit of snow there in Canada right now. But fire danger still on the top of our mind off to our west, back over into parts of Colorado, into Nebraska. We have some red flag warnings in place here, highlighted in that pink, and then fire weather watches in place as well in this tan color. That does also include parts of western Oklahoma there. Traveling anywhere regionally today, it's hot, it's dry, and we're pretty sunny. 86 in Tulsa this afternoon, 78 in St. Louis, Kansas City hitting 80 degrees for a high today. And check this out, back over towards the desert Southwest, 105 in Phoenix this afternoon, 97 degrees for a high in Las Vegas, 90s back over into the Texas Panhandle as well. And we are warmer today here in Springfield than Miami degrees with a high of only 77. Drought monitor. This is a look at last week's that came out, where we did have extreme and exceptional drought still here in north central Arkansas and Oregon County. This week, well, we do still have extreme to exceptional drought. Some good news is drought conditions did ease up a bit, especially here in our Missouri counties, where some now not under any form of drought. Now it's just a very small sliver and still extremely dry back here in parts of northern Arkansas. But we'll continue to look at a dry stretch of weather over the next week. So unfortunately, I'm not looking at any relief on the way over the next week ahead. But over the next 10 days, our temperatures are still trending above to well above average for this time of year, especially through the weekend, and then a drop in temperatures right around average as we begin Monday off next week, and then climbing back up again by midweek. So temperatures are still trending above normal. And I do want to remind you and let you know, we still haven't hit our average last freeze yet. It's actually not until, I'd say, really around mid-April for much of us here in the Ozarks, including around Springfield and back around Harrison. So still some time before it's very safe to plant anything, but at least overnight lows this week are trending very warm as well in the 40s and 50s. To even some mid-80s by around 4 o'clock today. 84 in Harrison, likely one of the hottest spots. Tonight, overnight lows staying in the low to, I'd say, a little bit cooler in Arkansas, likely in the mid-50s for you waking up tomorrow morning. Light winds today, tonight, tomorrow, and flirting with record highs outside. And enjoy the beautiful weather today. Well, more days to come with temperatures well above average. Just a few passing clouds in some of our easternmost cities right now. Temperatures currently about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than this time yesterday, and we've all climbed into the 80s now today. Rolla hitting 81 right now. That means you have tied your record high for the day. 80 in West Plains, 82 in Springfield right now, and 88 in Harrison, flirting with the 90s. West Plains, your record also 81. We'll have to watch closely. You could potentially tie your record today as well. 91 in Harrison. We've all come very close to beating record highs today, and another chance all the way through the weekend. Temperatures this evening back in the mid-70s, still at 7 o'clock. We'll be in the mid-60s by 9, and overnight lows tonight only cooling off into the low to mid-50s out the door tomorrow morning. And highs tomorrow will be in the mid to upper 80s. May even need to bump up Harrison a bit today, judging by how hot you got today. So tomorrow's temperature may be a little bit warmer than 86, maybe closer to 90 degrees. So certainly a very warm afternoon. And we'll talk more about some record highs that could be broken through the weekend coming up again soon. Feel anything like winter. Spring begins tomorrow morning. We'll talk about well above average temperatures, including the potential for record highs coming up. Tonight, maybe just a few passing cloud cover breaks up, though, into the afternoon tomorrow, well, really quickly by sunrise. And then we'll see full sunshine again for your Friday afternoon and into the evening hours. Temperatures today by 9 o'clock, back in the mid to upper 60s, still warmer than where our average high should be. Average high is 60 degrees. And overnight lows tonight only dropping back in the low to mid 50s out the door tomorrow morning. Hey, tomorrow afternoon, I think we'll be around 85 to maybe even 90 degrees in a spot or two. We'll continue to see temperatures well above average, all thanks to a really quiet weather pattern here in our neck of the woods with this giant heat dome in place back over across the southwest United States. Upper level ridge sitting over there, big area of high pressure, this yellow indicating dry sinking air. And what's happening is we are pulling in some of that warmth with our flow pattern over the next couple of days. The jet stream, which transports cooler air very well, will be lifting north over the next few days, and that's going to help some of that warmer air move on in, and we'll see a very dry weather setup taking shape throughout the week ahead. So a look at our record highs versus your forecasted highs. This is going to be here in Springfield, but of course I'll show you more record highs across the area coming up. 82 today so far. Record high today was 86. We have been shy. And Friday's record, 92 degrees. I'd say here in Springfield, that's probably safe. We'll likely be in the mid 80s. And then Saturday, I think the best chance for many areas to at least tie to potentially beat record highs. Sunday also going to be a very warm day. Record high 88 degrees, many areas in the mid 80s. So record highs for Saturday. I think that's when most will come really close at least. Certainly back over in West Plains, Rolla, Harrison, your record highs about 85 to 86 in Harrison. And I think temperatures will climb in the mid to upper 80s. In Harrison, it wouldn't surprise me if you hit 90 degrees or greater for the day on Saturday. So record highs could be shattered for the weekend ahead. And here's a look at one model. This is Saturday, 4 o'clock, 86 in Rolla, which would be the record high. This model has you tying it in West Plains. Regardless, still very hot. And this will be the first full day of spring. Of course, tomorrow is the first actual day of spring, and it will be feeling more summer-like. Then by Sunday, same story. We'll be in the mid to upper 80s, some spots maybe around 90, before a cold front actually begins to work its way on in, and that front will push in some cooler air. Now, we really need some rain. Unfortunately, not drought monitor. This is a look at last week's that came out. And so we still had extreme exceptional drought here in south central Missouri, northern Arkansas, and dry drought for a large portion of us here in the Ozarks, especially north of Highway 60. Well, in the latest drought monitor that came out on Tuesday, released today, we can see that drought conditions have been removed for parts of the area. Really just a small sliver. So just a select few of you now, not under any form of drought. Improvements nonetheless. Still though, extreme to exceptional drought in north central Arkansas extending into southern Oregon County, which is not great. And we are looking at warm and very dry weather through the week ahead. Here's a look at our highs over the next 10 days compared to normal. Temperatures about 20-25 degrees above average through the weekend, right around normal as we begin Monday. And then another very warm midweek next week. Temperatures continuing to stay very warm through the week ahead. So I just want to remind you, I know it feels like summer now and you may have an itch to get out and garden. I can't promise though that we won't have another freeze. Our average last freeze is actually, I'd say more so mid-April. So in the middle of April for all of us here in Missouri and northern Arkansas, I'd say around April 11th through about the 16th is typically when we see our average last one. Out the door tomorrow morning, light winds tonight, lighter winds for the day tomorrow, and highs for your Friday well above average, approaching records again heading into the weekend, mid to upper 80s. I even think a few spots could hit close to 90 degrees tomorrow and then again on Saturday. Now we do have some slightly cooler air on the horizon. I'll break down your 7-day forecast for you again day by day coming up on the news at 5. For the last day of winter, we have clear skies right now and temperatures are currently about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. Currently sitting in the low to mid 80s across much of the area. 87 right now for you in Harrison, kind of the hot spot. 83 here in Springfield, 82 in Monette right now. Today's record highs really coming close in some spots, potentially tying it in Rolla. We'll have to watch and see the National Weather Service report coming out today to confirm that. Regardless, very close in West Plains as well. Throughout the rest of your evening, upper 60s by around 8 o'clock. A few passing clouds overnight tonight, but overall mostly clear. Lows only cooling off into the low to mid 50s out the door tomorrow morning, and check out your highs tomorrow afternoon. The first day of spring will feel like summer, mid to upper 80s, flirting with the 90s, and record highs could be broken again heading into the weekend, and I'll talk more about those coming up soon. A lot of sunshine. It's been a beautiful afternoon. I've seen a few golfers out here on the golf course. I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen more, but I guess it is just Thursday. People have to work, but it's been a beautiful day, feeling very spring to even summer-like this afternoon with temperatures well above average. Heading into the rest of your evening and overnight hours, maybe just a few passing clouds, but overall clear tonight, and certainly a lot of sunshine on the way for your Friday. First day of spring tomorrow, beginning at a little after 9 tomorrow morning, will feature summer-like temperatures. Now, as we head into the evening hours, 9 o'clock today should be in the mid to upper 60s. Still, our average high is 60 degrees, and overnight lows will be just a little bit cooler than that, in the low to mid 50s out the door tomorrow morning. Highs tomorrow afternoon, mid to upper 80s, flirting with record highs in some spots, and I even think maybe a spot or two could hit close to 90 degrees, especially in northern Arkansas. So today, from water vapor imagery, you can actually see this big giant heat dome very clearly sitting underneath this upper level ridge. And quiet weather here towards the Four Corners region, just very hot, hitting in the 100s today across parts of Phoenix, and we'll continue to see drier air actually still in place for us here in the Ozarks, and that will lead to a dry, sunny weather pattern for much of the week ahead. Now, these arrows indicating the jet stream. The jet stream continues to lift further to the north over the next couple of days. And the jet stream is great at transporting cooler air, and it's going to do none of that for us throughout the rest of your week. We'll continue to see temperatures flirting with record highs. This is a look here for Springfield's numbers, but we'll take a look at some other cities here next. As we head into your Friday, Springfield's record's 92. That's one of the hottest ones, and I think that one's probably safe, but will likely be in the mid to upper 80s. Saturday, though, I think several cities have a chance to at least tie to potentially beat the record highs. Forecasted high of 87. That record high is 88 degrees. And then 88 on Sunday. But a cold front will be moving through, so we'll kind of see a variety of highs, but I think you could still be in the upper 80s in parts of northern Arkansas on Sunday. Now here's a look at records. West Plains, Rolla, 85 degrees is your record high on Saturday. I think you stand a good chance to at least tie that. Harrison's is 86 degrees, and there's a very likely chance that you guys beat that record for your Saturday afternoon set back in 1997. And Joplin's is 91, and I think they also have a chance to potentially hit into the 90s. Here's a look at model numbers for Saturday afternoon. Upper 80s. Low 90s in some spots, and we'll continue to see Sunday, a very warm day before that cold front arrives. This is a look here, 4 o'clock, still some mid to upper 80s, and beginning to cool off in some of our northwesternmost cities. Now through the rest of the week, push in some cooler air, nothing too significant, but back around average on Monday. That's what spring is supposed to feel like, in the low 60s Monday, and then we'll jump quickly back into the 80s by Wednesday. So yes, a lot of changes this week, and it's going to be very warm for us.
Here's the weather school question. Let me back up a little bit here.
Yep. A positive phase shift, which is where radar returns are at a higher frequency, means what? Something is stationary, motion is away from the radar, or there's motion towards the radar.
I don't have a clue. I know what radar is. I mean, is it moving toward the radar?
We're getting pretty technical, but you're correct.
Oh, well.
C, motion towards the radar.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Next in medical news, a new option for aortic valve replacement. Close.
Yeah, very warm tomorrow, mid to upper 80s. You may have the itch to start your spring planting. I will say I can't promise that we won't see another freeze. Our average last freeze is, I would actually say, around mid-April for many. We don't have any freezes, though, throughout the week ahead. Very warm through the week as well. Monday, the coldest day, and that's average in the low 60s.
All right. We thank you for watching KY3 News at 5. I'll see you again in 30 minutes.